Long ago Shabo was a poor shepherd in a small village. He owned a long, beautiful stick that he used to control the herd of goats, and with the same stick he would shake down leaves from trees. No one knew what magical power the stick had, but with a single spin of it, all the scattered goats would gather instantly. If any wild animal appeared nearby, Shabo only had to point the stick at it, and the creature would run away with its tail tucked. The goats peacefully grazed on fresh green grass while the carefree shepherd sat and relaxed. This was Shabo's everyday routine until sunset. In the village lived the richest man, Bin Caliph, the owner of several acres of farmland. He had hundreds of cows, buffaloes, sheep, and goats, all kept in a large enclosure. Next to the enclosure were small huts made of mud and straw for shepherds, caretakers, and farmers. To protect them from the sun, roofs made of palm leaves were built. Shabo lived in one of these huts, and in another lived another shepherd named Sinu. Shabo grazed Bin Caliph's goats for a very small wage. For working from morning till evening, Bin Caliph gave him only 1 coin. What needs could a poor boy meet with just 1 coin? Tired and exhausted, he would eat simple dry food, thank God for it, and sleep. Early every morning, he would wake up, pray, and take the goats out to the grazing fields again. One evening, Shabo spun his stick to gather the goats, but something was wrong. The goats did not stop grazing even after he spun the stick again and again. Shabo became worried. It was getting dark, and he needed to reach the village on time because his master, Bin Caliph, was a very strict man. This stick was his father's last memory. His father had been a righteous and pious man, who walked with the help of this stick in his old age. Shabo, their only child, inherited it. He too was humble and good-hearted like his father. He cherished the stick deeply and kept it safe. It was magical and extremely helpful to him. Sinu, Shabo's neighbor and fellow shepherd, also worked for Bin Caliph. Shabo's goats were healthy, well-fed, and multiplied quickly. Many were fat and strong, producing plenty of milk. Because of Shabo's hard work and honesty, Bin Caliph was pleased with him and was planning to give him responsibility over the sheep as well. But Sinu had become very jealous. He was lazy and irresponsible, caring only about comfort. It hurt him to see Shabo being appreciated, so he waited for a chance to ruin Shabo's reputation. One day, he got the opportunity. He stole Shabo's magical stick, replaced it with a similar but ordinary one, and in his jealousy, broke the royal stick into pieces and buried them deep in the forest. The next morning, Shabo took the goats toward the forest as usual. But when he spun the stick, nothing happened. The goats would not obey. He ran around collecting them, panting and exhausted. The stick had made his work so easy before. Heartbroken, he sighed deeply and slowly returned toward the village, where Bin Caliph was waiting. As soon as Bin Caliph saw him, Sinu quickly said, "Master, Shabo has arrived." The goats were counted, and several were missing. Bin Caliph became furious. "You have gone too far with your irresponsibility. I made a mistake trusting you. Sinu was right about you." Shabo kept his head down and listened quietly. That night, Bin Caliph punished him by giving him no food or water. The poor boy slept hungry. The next morning, Bin Caliph woke him and said, "Ungrateful boy. I did not hire you to feed you for free. I give you 1 coin every day. Until you find all my goats, you will not receive a single coin, and you cannot stay in this hut either." He drove Shabo out of the village. Shabo, sad and hopeless, walked toward the forest. Near the place where Sinu had buried the stick pieces was a large pond. On full moon nights, fairies would descend there. That night, along with the fairies, the royal carriage from Fairyland was also present. The beautiful horse pulling the carriage was grazing peacefully when suddenly it neighed loudly and reared up in pain. Shabo hid behind a tree, amazed to see real fairies. But the horse's painful cries scared him. With the fairies was a guardian jinn, whose sharp sense of smell detected a human nearby. He caught Shabo from behind and brought him before the fairy queen. Shabo wasn't afraid, he had done nothing wrong. The fairies examined the horse's hoof, which was bleeding. "There seems to be something stuck inside," said the stable jinn. What was stuck in the hoof was not a thorn, it was a sharp piece of a broken stick. Shabo recognized it immediately. "Oh, my precious stick, you're here," he cried. All the fairies glared at him angrily. The guardian jinn said, "You wicked boy! Did you injure our queen's horse on purpose?" Shabo replied fearlessly, "You're mistaken. My stick was whole yesterday. It disappeared from my hut, and now I find it here in pieces." His courage made it clear he was telling the truth. The guardian jinn was sent to the village disguised as a human to investigate. He discovered that Sinu had broken the stick and buried it in the forest to trap Shabo. The fairy queen ordered the jinn to bring Sinu. Terrified, Sinu confessed immediately. The queen sentenced him to imprisonment in fairyland for breaking the stick, troubling Shabo, and making his master punish him. She then gave Shabo a new stick, even more beautiful and magical, one that could turn silver into gold. When Bin Caliph learned the truth, he felt ashamed. He made Shabo the caretaker of all his herds and gifted him a fine new house. And the magical stick could no longer be stolen. Whoever tried to steal it would instantly turn into stone, and only Shabo could restore them to human form.